Hello, I'm Greg Harrison with USDA Market News Service here in St. Joe, Missouri with your national feeder cattle summary this week. Yearling feeders this week traded mostly steady. Spots too higher, especially from the first part of the week to about Wednesday. Then Wednesday on, we've seen a few lower prices to $2 lower. Feeder calves traded steady to $5 lower on a light test throughout the Midwest at the auctions this week. Also in the Southeast, trading up to $5 lower as well. This week there were several auctions holding special feeder cattle sales, especially on calves. In Bassett, Nebraska on Wednesday, they sold near 4,500 head of fall-born calves, all trading with very good demand on these top quality feeder calves. Some of the highlights: near 400 head of steer calves weighing 550 to 600 pounds, selling with a 575 pound average and a weighted average price of $306.68. And near 800 head of steers weighing 650 700 pounds, averaging 662 pounds, sold with a weighted average price of $274.07. So very good demand on all those calves there in Bassett, Nebraska, selling very well. At the Joplin Regional Stockyards on Thursday, they held a special wean vac calf sale, trading right at near 6,000 head on offer, all trading with very good demand. Northern Livestock Video this week on Monday and Tuesday held their early summer special, selling over 40,000 head of feeder cattle, and all these are really good top quality cattle in the northern plains, selling from Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, North and South Dakota. Some of the highlights from that sale: they sold right at 1,300 head of value-added steer calves. These would be all natural or have NHTC programs behind them, weighing between 500 and 550 pounds. They averaged 519 pounds and sold with a weighted average price of $307.03, and that was for November delivery. Had some value-added steers, 3 loads, 825 pounds, and they sold for $243, and that was for current delivery. And also noted on this sale, Northern Plains ranchers are aggressively rebuilding their herds with only 26% of the receipts. So that's over 40,000 being heifers. So far, losses on the fed cattle markets have not really dampened feeder cattle demand this week. It's been very good. Last Friday's cattle on feed report was neutral to slightly bullish, with placements down 10% compared to last year's totals. Feedlots in most cases are facing stiff competition from farmer feeders with plenty of corn, backgrounding, and grazing operations. And on Monday, USDA issued their cold storage report, with total red meat supplies and freezers down 5% from last month, but 19% higher than a year ago. Then inventories of boneless and bone-in beef was 3% lower than last month, but 24% higher than a year ago levels. Supplies of imported beef are bolstering inventories. Cutout values continue to trend higher this week, but on Thursday, choice product closed 96 cents lower at $255.16, and when you compare that to last Friday's close on choice was at $251.32. So we're still about $4 higher on choice product than we were last week. CME cattle futures took a turn for the worse on Wednesday, closing with triple-digit losses. Then on Thursday, feeder cattle futures really took a hit, trading. They're frantically bailing water on Thursday with limit to near limit losses, and this is really despite the good feeder cattle demand that we've seen this week at the auctions, and in spite of higher box beef values. Corn prices this week also caught some tailwind from soybeans and wheat. Markets that were higher. Corn conditions this week dropped to 71% good to excellent compared to 73% good to excellent last week, as too much rain throughout the corn belt and seeing some flooding conditions have turned some corn, dropped 2% from last week's 73% good to excellent. So soybeans this week also dropped to 65% good to excellent, and last week it was rated at 67% good to excellent with 90% completed planting. Looking at some regional weighted averages in the South Central region, steers 500 to 600 pounds running about $4 lower this week at $268.09. 600 to 700 pounds $1 higher at $251.79. 700 to 800 pounds running about $1 higher at $229.04, and 800 to 900 pound steers trading steady at $216.20. In the Southeast regions, feeder calves weighing 400 to 500 pounds, steers about $5 lower at $276.54. 500 to 600 pounds running $1 lower at $254.60. This has been your Market News Report. Be back with you next week. Thanks for listening.